Wheatbelt in Western Australia. What stands out about the Wheatbelt is that things are big out here. Big farms, big machinery, and people with big characters.
We're going to be taking a look around the Wheatbelt and talking to the people who live and work out here. How are they creating communities that are vibrant and fun places to live and setting preferred futures for themselves?
And we'll also be looking at the courage and endeavour being shown by young people who are setting up entrepreneurial and innovative new businesses across the Wheatbelt. My observation is that, out here, there's not a lot of people live out here. So really, whatever experience of life you're going to have is one you're going to create yourself. So really, people are carving out their own lives. So what are you doing to carve out the sort of life you want to have, living out here?
Well, I suppose the two things that I've said it before that drive bush people are sport and humour. So obviously you have to get your work done, but I think to create, the morale of a town and an area to make people feel better about being there, we just use the sport and the humour and talk it up until it gains momentum.
So out in the Wheatbelt, how important is having a strong community where you live? How important is that to your experience of life out here?
Well, you have to have strong people, and they're only bred within strong communities that want to keep, all the younger people coming through strong. It's a system, and it takes a long time to build up. Coolan's a great example because they've had the system there for years to bring on the leaders and create them and make things happen. So from now on, things will happen. It's active, plenty of action, lots happening. I love it, it's great.
So here we are at Taste of the Wheatbelt in the heart of the Wheatbelt area in Corrigan. And today we're talking with Brendan Grills, the guy who's at the centre of windmill flour.
Well, we've got a really strong family, Claire, and wanted to keep it all together. I was lucky enough to be able to go away to boarding school, but wanted to come down, come back to the country where my roots were. Obviously, my grandfather started off here, in 1950, so we wanted to keep it all together, but as times have changed, so has agriculture, so we needed to look for something different. So that way we obviously got into the flour mill, which was an easy way to value add because we already had the wheat, etc. And our bakery is just the next step from that. So obviously now I've got my wife here as well. Yep. So, we're just putting together more businesses to enable all our family to stay together.
So as a young bloke in Corrigan, what does it take to have you, live and work out here? What are you passionate about?
Well, I think I'm passionate about making it work. I think that's the biggest thing in small business. You have to make it work. You never know what's going to happen the next day. Yep. You never know when the bread's not going to turn out and what you're going to do next. So, we're always looking for the next new thing and trying to make it work. And that's the exciting thing about it. The exciting thing is you don't know what's going to happen around the corner. Yeah. You just got to get this bread out of the oven, Claire.
Okay. So how many jobs has the windmill flour and the Taste of the Wheatbelt brought to Corrigan?
It's been pretty good. We've got 9 full-time employees working in the new value-adding business at the moment, as well as the 6 people that we've got working on the farm, so we're starting to turn it into quite a big business. So
that must make a huge impact on Corrigan as a community and providing, that's probably 9 families.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think that, and it's not just us. There's a lot of new businesses starting up, employing people, and we need that because a new business needs more people in the town to make it work. So if everyone does it, well, it looks good for everyone. So
Susan, you've married into the Grills family. What's your role here with Taste of the Wheatbelt?
I sort of do a mixture of everything. I was trained as a lawyer, so sometimes I'll do some legal work, and that might just be reading a contract between a supplier and us, or I'll do some marketing, I'll do a bit of graphic design. It's a bit of everything, and I love that. I love that you really get to use all your skills. So for being a city person in the country, the perception might be that you might not be able to use those skills, and I think that's just not the case at all. If anything, you get to use them in a better way. You really get to, the opportunity's there to just let yourself fly.
So what's your vision for the Taste of the Wheatbelt and the Wheatbelt area, Susan?
My vision for the Wheatbelt region is to bring it to the world. People speak about the wonderful agricultural regions of Australia as being the Yarra region, the Yarra Valley region, the Barossa region, the Margaret River region. Next time I hear people speak about agricultural regions, I want them to speak about the Wheatbelt. We have some of the best products in the world: yabbies, bread, vinegar, wine, marron, and the problem is people don't know about it. Well, my vision, or our vision, is to bring these products to the rest of the world.
Where do yabbies go from here? Whereabouts in the world do they go from, your yabby processing?
Dunsborough, Perth, and yesterday they went to Singapore. On the weekend they went to USA. Next week there's some going to Indonesia, and at the end of this week some will go to Switzerland. So all over the world. It's making a difference in rural Australia. It means that there's more income coming in, more people being able to do something different on their land, and I believe the future is enormous.
So Mary, tell me, how important is the yabby business to women in rural areas?
Women are the biggest catchers of yabbies in Western Australia. It's mainly a women's industry. They find it's a fantastic way to have their own independence financially, and they go out and they catch them. They're really brilliant because they are nurturers. Women nurture their yabbies and look after them beautifully. Not to say we haven't got some very good men, but it is predominantly a women's industry. To us as a family, it's really exciting, the difference it makes to people's lives. It means that they've got money that they can put into something that they wouldn't have otherwise had. In some cases, it purely goes into keeping food on the table. In other cases, it goes to bringing a mum out from England for the birth of her child, putting braces on the teeth of one lady who was longing for that, putting a veranda on the house, education, computers, you name it.
So Mary, tell me, do you think the yabbies could become a gourmet dish, a gourmet dish coming from the Wheatbelt?
We are promoting yabbies as exquisite and unique. Exquisite because they look wonderful when they're prepared, unique to Australia, so they're really something fantastic for anybody overseas. If they want something truly Australian, truly a gourmet line, they buy them. And we've just been in Paris in October, and the response was absolutely wonderful. We just want the Australians to see how fantastic they are. And of course, rural Australians have enjoyed catching them and eating them, and so they really are very much a part of our culture. And to make them the national dish, I think, would be a really wonderful achievement.
This really is what the Wheatbelt is to me. A big, vast open space, big blue skies, the open farmland. And we're here at harvest time, so we see the golden colours of harvest behind us. Now, one of the things we've been looking at in the last couple of days is what people are doing to produce new food types out here. So we're going to have a look now about how these foods can come together to form a meal.
Today we're cooking up a storm on Cockabin Rock, and we've got our two celebrity chefs, Jeff and Trevor. Thanks for coming up to the rock, you guys.
First of all, I've got to make a marinade for the rare beef salad.
Well, there's a bowl, Trev.
Thanks, Jeff. First of all, we're going to start with the beef marinade. And, of course, we've got this great Talbot Brook Grove olive oil.
How come so much olive oil?
It's not that much, and it's really good stuff.
Yeah, it keeps the food moist. And...
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Pilgrim's Balsamic vinegar, which is from Clackline, and Earth Farm Nature's Produce Condong jam and chutney we've got here, but what I'm going to use is a dab of this Condong jam. It's very nice.
Condongs are native to Western Australia or Australia, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Claire, you're right.
Actually known as a wild peach.
Yeah.
Yep. We just mix that all together, and I'm going to put some of these fresh chilies in, which I've just cut up before, and some garlic sliced up roughly, doesn't have to be very fine or anything, and some fresh basil, which I'm just going to break up into the marinade, and some cracked black pepper, and that's very nice. We'll stick some of that in there as well.
Gosh, it smells great, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And there we go, there we've got our marinade happening.
Yum.
And we get our beef.
We've got some lovely fillet beef there.
We have, and we marinate, we put the marinade over that.
Oh, look, I tell you, that's looking all right.
Just wipe that right over.
Oh, look at that. And we'll let that right.
And then what we do is we rub it in like this.
Kind of like kindergarten and Play-Doh.
Yeah,
It is.
It's finger painting back when you were a kid. Right?
Just a little bit of a massage in there, and it gets right into that meat. It's beautiful.
It's one good thing about being a chef, you play with food all the time.
I'm going to put that straight on.
Well,
and then we're going to tip the juices over the top.
Look at the smells and the aromas coming off that.
Oh, it smells divine, doesn't it?
Oh, those chilies hit the lungs, I tell
And you
you.
can smell that wonderful balsamic vinegar too.
All right, the beef's been sealed here, keep the moistures and the flavours there, and away you go from there. Trev, you want to start on your mushrooms and capsicums?
I sure do. And what I've done with the capsicums is I've cut them in quarters. Then we're just going to chuck that on the barbecue along with the mushrooms, the field mushrooms, and put those on and then moisten them up there with a little bit of olive oil just so they don't dry off on the barbecue. And they are getting the juices from the beef, which is good.
Yeah, yum.
Well, while you're doing that, Trev, I'll start on the salad.
Yeah, that's the way, Jeff.
All right, Claire, what we've got here, we've got some lovely fresh gourmet lettuces, some red festivals and some green festivals. And then we're going to add some little cucumber strips, a little bit of the Spanish onion over the top of that. And then just some nice diced tomato, sprinkle that over the top. And then we'll slice the beef over the top of that and away we go.
Okay, I think that looks just about ready, Jeff.
That looks quite delightful, actually.
So what we're going to do is slice that down. Oh, that's looking lovely, Jeff.
Yeah, that's nice and pink in the middle there. That's how I like my beef.
That is, if you want it cooked a little bit more, obviously, you cook it a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, this is going to end up great.
That's great, isn't it?
Look at
Just that. And then we get our mushrooms and capsicums.
Now, away we go.
We put those on there. I have got a dressing I made up a bit earlier, and I made it from the Talbot Brook olive oil and the balsamic vinegar and, of course, the wonderful condong jam. Great. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, you want to serve that to the king of the Wheatbelt?
Thank you, and I'll leave you to your yabby salad.
Thanks, Trev. All right, now we're going to start on the yabbies now. We're just going to saute the yabbies, and away we go from there. All right, so we're going to put these on the barbecue now. Just like that. Now, also, if we want to do, we can put a lid on top of those and make them sort of steam as well.
Yep.
But we'll just cook the four.
Yep.
Now, while that's going, we can probably get the bread ready as well, which is the Taste of the Wheatbelt bread from a local bakery down at Corrigan there. We've got some slices around here somewhere. Trev, have we got some slices of bread here somewhere?
Sure have.
Look at that, fresh bread.
Delicious.
Taste of the Wheatbelt. So, what we'll do with this is, we'll use the olive oil. We'll smear some over the grill plate, and then we'll put this bread onto it, like so. Right? And then we'll cook that on either side.
Yep.
And then we've got a basic tomato, basil and onion salsa with a touch of garlic through it. And then we'll sprinkle that on top. And then we'll get our yabbies that have been sitting on the side here. We'll get a hold of those, and then we'll rearrange them on the plate. And away we go. Look at that.
Looks delicious.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, love the yabbies. This is a great picnic food, this. You know, you sit down and picnic with the kids, and away you go. All right, and we'll just finish off the yabby bruschetta with a bit of green. And Claire, what do you reckon of that?
It looks delicious, actually.
Love my yabbies.
From this to this.
Hey guys, this looks sensational.
Oh, how you going, Dave? You know when to come in, don't you?
Absolutely good timing, yeah. Here we are in Shackleton, a town of 30 people in the middle of the Wheatbelt in Western Australia.
I tell you what, this place is amazing. I mean, what would it be like to live in a town with only 30 people in it?
That's right, and we'll be asking the locals what it's like to live here. But right now we're in front of the bank in Shackleton. This building has been a bank for nearly 70 years. It closed in 1997, and when it closed, it was only open for 1.5 hours a week.
Friday afternoons.
3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m.
It's crowded compared to living on a farm with only yourself and your wife and any children. Once we played cricket, once we played footy, now we play bowls, so I'm still playing sport, aren't I?
I go out to my dad's farm and I go shooting, ride the Suzuki, round up sheep, go on the swings that he's made us, and I like going on the header with him at nights and stuff like that.
What we've noticed when we've been travelling around the Wheatbelt is people's sense of humour and their willingness to be different or kind of quirky. Out here at Coolum, the farmers have taken on to create a tin horse highway where they've created these structures of horses doing a whole range of different things.